Ready.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Cloud Chats on February 4th, 2021, episode titled Video Editors and Potato Generators. And I feel like that's an amazing title in of itself. My name is Mason Egger, and I'm a developer advocate at DigitalOcean. And Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Chris Sev. I'm a developer advocate at DigitalOcean.
Awesome. So, welcome everyone to the show. This is our first of hopefully many personal live streams. So I think we're going to go ahead and start it up with an icebreaker. Chris, how did you get into programming?
Sure. And if you're in the chat, let us know where you're coming in from. I guess for more intros, I am coming in from Las Vegas, Nevada, city of casinos, but our casinos aren't running at full speed right now, so I get to stay home. What about you, Mason?
I'm from Austin, Texas, where the barbecue is great and the weather is 70 degrees outside right now, which is a pretty typical Texas winter. So I love it.
It's pretty good. I'm sitting at 60 over here. Buckingham, UK. Arpan, Bobby, what's up? Everybody in the chat, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining everybody to the first ever Cloud Chats. What are we doing, Mason? Weekly?
Weekly. We're doing weekly Cloud Chats. This is going to be a new thing that we do, and I'm excited for it.
That. Rochester, Vancouver. Welcome, everybody. Hey, John. Hey, Brian. Hey, Baraket. What are we talking about? Arpan, we are about to talk about how we all got into programming, because I think this is a fun thing for everyone to talk about around the water cooler. Am I starting, Mason? Are you starting?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So I am 32 years old now, and I started programming when I was, I think, 11, 12. So for that, what is that, 20 years? Basically, the way I got started was I was kind of always loved computers, kind of a nerd. I had a gaming clan. No, it was not like Counter-Strike or anything. It was on Wolfenstein was our main game. If anyone remembers.
Oh, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah. So we had a gaming clan. One of the people in my clan gave me, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on screen, a copy of Dreamweaver that we'll leave it there. A copy of Dreamweaver. And I like looked at the price of this thing, and it was like, I don't know what it was back then, $1,200 for just a text editor. And I was like, wow, this thing is amazingly expensive. Maybe I should learn how to use it. So I started learning how to use it. And if you don't know Dreamweaver, it's basically a drag and drop editor where you like take things, drag like a paragraph, drag a div, drag a header. And it was cool in theory, right? And then I would like drag everything over, and then you can click to view the code that it generated for you. And it was the most terrible code I have seen. And I've seen some pretty bad code in my lifetime.
It's awful.
Oh, it's so bad. Like the P tag would open, and then the div would open here and end like on the other side. So from there, I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to do the code the right way. And I learned how to code. I learned how to freelance. Got myself through college and started a company. What about you, Mason?
Wow. Okay. So the fact that I wound up doing software engineering as a career, I think, is still one of the most shocking things to my mother of all time, because when I was a kid, I hated computers. Like, I was deathly afraid of them. Like, I was not allowed to touch it. Like, I can't break the computer. So I'm 28 now, and I started as a sophomore in high school doing programming. I had obviously played a couple of games on computers before. My go-to was old school RuneScape, before it was called old school RuneScape. Which, fun fact, I still have that account, and I've had that account for 17 years. So that is my oldest internet account that I can think of that I own. My Facebook is, I think, 12 or 13 years old, because I got it in 2007. but my RuneScape account is the oldest internet account I still have access to, and I love it. But anyway, I started in high school. I grew up in a very rural part of Texas, southwest of the Houston metro area, and I just happened to be lucky enough to have a teacher there who loved computer science. She was originally a math teacher early in her career, but she fell in love with computer science and decided to build a full-fledged computer science program out in the middle of nowhere. So I started there doing, Java, because that was what the AP course was in, and did Java for 3 years in high school, did a lot of programming competitions because that was the thing to do back then. Went to college for music education, and about a year in decided that I didn't want to be a teacher anymore, or I didn't want to be a music teacher at a public school. I wanted to go into software engineering, and then wound up through a long series of events getting both a music and a computer science degree. And then I started being a software engineer. And now I'm here. So yeah, I've been doing it for I was 15, so coming up on 13, 14 years now I've been programming. Fun fact, my first web programming experience was also with Dreamweaver, because they made the kids in the music education program take a course called Intro to Music Tech, where you learned like music notation software, where you learned video editing software, where you learn things like GarageBand. But then the last project was learning Dreamweaver, so you could potentially build your own website. And I think I still have a copy of that original website that I had on my domain. And yeah, that is some fun code. Dreamweaver definitely makes me laugh.
I think I actually just, from what you're saying, I think I just remembered something that I did in the past that was before Dreamweaver, and I'm sharing my screen here, but it was Visual Basic. Does anyone remember Visual Basic?
My high school teacher, like if you didn't take the AP course and you took CS1, you started off in Scratch and Alice, but Visual Basic was the last thing that she taught. So I played around with a little bit of Visual Basic myself.
Are they still doing Dreamweaver these days?
Yeah, it's still going. Like I recently got a Creative Cloud license, and you can still get Dreamweaver. And I'm like, whoa, I would love to look at it, because like I think the last time I touched Dreamweaver would have been 2013, 2014, because I used to teach instructional labs at the university, and the CS course for non-majors made them build websites, and we also built the websites in Dreamweaver. So I actually learned a lot about basic Dreamweaver. Learned nothing about CSS. So if you ever see me build a website, my tables are perfect, and they're all on the left side of the screen because I don't know how to move them.
I heard something fun in when you were talking about your experience. What is the oldest internet account you remember making or have access to? I'll go with remember making, because I for sure don't have access to my AOL Instant Messenger account.
I honestly think it's my RuneScape account. I think that's the first thing I ever made. I didn't have an email. Like I never had, like I still have access to my first Yahoo email account that I made in 7th grade. But I started playing RuneScape in I think 3rd grade. And I had to go to my neighbor's house because they had DSL and we didn't. We didn't have any internet. And then when we got internet, we actually had dial-up. And like, so I remember, get off the phone. Or get off the internet. I want to use the phone. But no, I think mine is my RuneScape account, and the fact that I can still access it, because I go in and I go to, like, at the very beginning of RuneScape, you can like talk to this person and you'll get years of service capes, and I got my 15-year cape. And people always, I just walk around RuneScape now. People are like, how'd you get a 15-year cape? I'm like, because I've been doing this for a very long time. Now I want to play RuneScape. might stream that later. Getting nostalgic over here.
Yeah, we gotta we gotta keep moving. I feel like this turns into let's remember the old days.
Yahoo. We see Dave over here says Yahoo chat rooms. I remember Yahoo Answers. And then I don't know what an ICQ number is, Brian. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Chris, do you know what an ICQ number is?
I do not.
Okay. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, let's go ahead and get going. So if you're just now dropping in, welcome to Cloud Chats. This is just a segment where Chris and I chat about stuff. This is kind of a, front-end dev and back-end dev walk into a bar kind of thing and chat with each other. We both work at DigitalOcean, and I can see Chris is bringing up the website for us if it wants to come up. There we go. And the way that this is going to work is pretty much every week we're just going to come in and we're going to hang out with you. We're going to chat. We've got a couple of segments that will change out interactively, so we've got a few things that we're going to cover today. But definitely keep chatting with us. Like, we're happy to keep talking about stuff. Okay, what is this ICQ number? Potato generators. Yes, I can't wait till we get to potato generators. If you're outside the US, it's ICQ all the way. No idea. I've lived in the US my entire life, so I have no idea what that is. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and move on real quick to a segment we call News Flash, where we just kind of talk. I'm just going to really quickly go through a couple of news headlines that are pretty cool, and then we'll go there. So some of these are a little bit old. Well, what do we got? Are we still going? We got.
I'm just calling out Brian in the chat. Old Timers Cloud Chats episode, and I don't know. I'm only like, it's tech where you feel old when you're 30, right?
Right. No, I go on TikTok and people are like, "Oh, this is for the older generation, those that were born after 1998." And I'm like, hold on. Like, I was born at the beginning of the 90s, and I guess Chris, you were probably born late 80s,
89,
if I can do math correctly. So, oh my goodness. We'll definitely do it. We can do an Old Timers Cloud Chats episode. That would be fun. Explaining the old things to young people. Okay, we good?
We're good. Yeah, let's move.
Cool. On to this news flash. So, on December 25th, 2020, Ruby 3.0 was released. And I know a lot of people in DigitalOcean that really love Ruby. For those of you that don't know, DigitalOcean was originally a Ruby on Rails app. So this is a pretty big release. Ruby 3.0 is apparently 2 times faster than Ruby 2. And then it's in quotes in certain conditions, because I think they're using a just-in-time compiler for some of their stuff, but that's pretty awesome. I've heard that there's a lot of improvements made around the concurrency and parallel processing. Adds a new schedulers for like blocking operations, which is always pretty cool. It's nice to see interpreted languages get like good, parallel processing. I know that Ruby has it. I come from Python land, where we're consistently stuck behind the global interpreter lock, and it just makes me angry sometimes. Apparently some cool static analysis tools came out. So yeah, I've actually never messed around with Ruby. Chris, have you ever forayed into the Ruby land?
I did. When I was starting my career out, it was very much PHP or Ruby. So I did Ruby on Rails, and it's interesting. I've kind of changed my mind on it now that I'm thinking about it. I used to think Ruby on Rails was too much magic. And I think nowadays, if you see a lot of my videos and stuff that I'm making, it's very much on what tool gives us the most magic, like Strapi. So I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
I feel like we all go through that. Like, so I tried to learn Ruby on Rails, but the person who mentored me felt that it, like when I was in college, felt that it was important for me to learn everything the hardest way possible so that I could appreciate all of the nice things. So when I started learning interpreted languages and stuff, I had to learn Perl on OpenBSD. And I don't know why. So I tried to build, and then I tried learning Ruby on Rails by building Ruby and Rails from scratch from ports on FreeBSD in my home network, but I never gave the VM enough memory, so the build never worked. So I spent months trying, come on, I can totally do this with 128 kilobytes of RAM. Turns out you can't. So that actually made me angry, and I never learned Ruby because I couldn't get it to work on FreeBSD. And I blame my mentor for that, because he was but yeah, I think we get lazier as we age and we want more magic. We're like, I used to be a hardcore Perl developer, and I was like, Python's too easy. They make it too easy. Come on, like, we got to use Perl and like all these anonymous variables and stuff. And now I get mad at Python when it makes me do too much.
So okay. So moving on along that line, how do we all feel about no-code solutions?
They scare me. but I'm curious by them. Does Strapi count as no code?
I would call that low code.
Low code.
Like,
okay.
A little code required. But here's nocodedevs.com, and there's like a lot of tools here. Like I've seen agencies where all they're doing is not all they're doing a lot, but they go into like Webflow and they build out sites in Webflow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that counts when there's people out on the other side that are fully building like WordPress themes and doing freelance that way. And I don't know. I think I like it. It's interesting.
I think if it solves my exact purpose, I'll like it. But my fear, and I think the fear that most developers have, is how stuck are we in no code when we need to do something that the no code doesn't support? I think that's most people's fears, which is why when you showed me Strapi, I really liked Strapi because it was like there was a lot of very little coding, but when we needed to do something, I think we were doing the URL shortener and we wanted to do the auto generation of the link. When we needed to do something, we could go into the code. I think that's definitely a style that I like. Like, I don't need to write models for a CRUD application if a no code thing can process it. But if I need to tweak it, I want to have access to the mechanics underneath. I don't care about the engine in my car until I care about the engine in my car. I think that's how I would kind of like to see it.
Yeah, I dig it.
Definitely.
I love it. Bearcat in the chat just straight up, I hate no code solutions.
That's fine. Go right ahead. I think it's a good thing. You don't have to like them. They definitely have their places. So
they have their place. And honestly, that can be a whole other cloud chats. I definitely want to talk about the way that this AI coding revolution is going, but that's another time.
Yeah, that's a muse for another day. Okay, next part of news. JupyterLab 3.0 was released. So for all of you data science and ML people, JupyterLab is, it's one of the very popular, probably one of the most popular data science tools. I've played around with it a little bit. I like it. I don't do data science and ML. That's a level of math that I'm not willing to do. There are people much smarter than me who do that, but apparently it gives you it now ships a lot of things with it. So now you have a visual debugger, which is really awesome. These used to be extensions, and now they're actually shipped by default. Chris, go back to that page that you were just on, because that was actually the blog that I was referencing whenever so scroll down a little bit. The next one is actually one that I'm most excited for, which is table of contents. This one right here. So this, I've seen a lot of people using JupyterLab in the classroom, and now that we allow table of contents and stuff, we can now build interactive textbooks. Now, I know there have been tools for this in the past, but now that you can table of contents and you have executable code blocks inside of it, as someone who was a past educator, I'm really excited for table of contents now shipping with JupyterLabs. It used to be an extension, everything was an extension, but now it comes by default. So that's honestly a really cool feature, and I really like it. Okay, so we have a question in the chat, but it has to come through on this side first, because sometimes StreamYard's a little bit slow, so I'll come back to that one when it shows up. But Brian asks, JupyterLab is so lovely. Is it totally replacing plain old Jupyter notebooks? I don't think so. To be honest, I don't know a lot of the difference between the Jupyter notebooks, there it is, and JupyterLabs, but I think that it's just a repackaging. I think the notebook is the open source project, and I think Labs is the one that you can pay for advanced support, but I don't think it's replacing it. But I need to look into it. I think JupyterLabs is how you run it on a server, because I think I have a DigitalOcean tutorial on how to run a JupyterLab server on I remember this. JupyterLab is for collaboration. So yeah, it's like a server for running all of your notebooks. I worked on this in a past life, but I don't remember it until now. And I think the last thing about JupyterLabs that's really cool is now extensions can now be pre-built and installed with pip. So one of the things is that if you used to want to do extensions, you used to have to have Node.js installed and the Python tools, and you had to build the extension and install it. Now they're allowing you to build the extension, push it up to something like PyPI or Conda, and then just pip install the extension, and now you don't have to build any of the extensions anymore. You can just pip install them, which I think is a really cool usability feature that's going to help a lot of people, because sometimes I struggle installing Node.js. So Cool. And then last news flash of the day. So we've had them for a little while, but we finally launched an overarching page, which is DigitalOcean's interactive tutorials, which I am super excited about. So these are basic Linux tutorials, like you want to learn sed, grep, awk, but they have an interactive Katacoda terminal inside of the tutorial, and now you can work through the tutorial. Linux command line primer is a fun one. I did this one the other day just for fun, and you can now just play along with these things and learn as you go along, and that's really, really helpful and really awesome. And there's the link to them if you want to see how to get them and sign up for the newsletter. But yeah, so that we have interactive tutorials now, and it's a interactive Linux tutorial interactive Linux terminal that you use to just learn all these things, which I think is really awesome, because a lot of times some people may not have easy access to a Linux server to learn these things. And it's pretty awesome. Hey, so we got a question. Hey guys, are we doing this on the regular? This is going to be a weekly thing from now on, so definitely get used to it. Used to us being here. I think we're still playing with the time, like when we're going to do it. I think this is what we're going to see, but definitely expect to see us on a weekly basis from here on out. Awesome. Chris, you got anything else to add?
No, I'm just like clicking around. This Katacoda thing is super cool. You can get straight to the root. And I guess you could mess around from in here. So the developer in me just goes, well, what can I mess up?
Yeah, and it's perfect that you're doing it on a live stream.
Katacoda is a very cool tool. Katacoda.com does interactive tutorials like this. So it's really cool to see it integrated directly into written tutorials. So I love that.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, I think that's all we have for news. And now, Chris, it's time for your lightning tutorial. What are you going to show us today?
Cool. So this is another segment that we're playing around with called lightning tutorials. And after the segment, we'll go into some open discussion, and that will end out today. But for lightning tutorial, we thought about a couple things of, what should we do as a lightning tutorial this week? And some of these are going to be like coding tutorials. Some of these are going to be like full stack tutorials where Mason builds a backend, I build a front end real quick, and we try to get it done in like 5 minutes. For this one, I have been, I don't know, the first time I saw it, I have been running around with my hands in the air going, Descript is amazing. And Descript is a video recording and editing tool. And I dropped a link in the chat. I think I got to do it through StreamYard. But Descript is basically a tool that as you talk and you record a tutorial, it immediately transcribes it into text. And then you edit the text to edit your video. So we're going to do a live demo here. I'm going to show you how amazing this is because I have been yelling about it all week. So I'm going to close pretty much everything. Yeah. Okay. So actually, I do need one something. I'll bring over JupyterLab. This was me Googling on the side because I didn't know what JupyterLab was. Let's go to CodePen. Just like random cool CodePen. Okay. I guess this isn't necessary for the tutorial, but what I'm going to do here is record a video. Michael, I'm going to record a video and then I'm going to show you how to edit in Descript. And I actually really, really like Descript. So I'm going to go up here. It's got my camera here. It's got my audio here, transcription enabled. And I'm just going to click start screen recording. And then you can click on a part of your screen. So it should be recording my voice right now. Hey, Christian in the chat, welcome to the stream. And I'm just going to talk random things while we're doing this. Hey, James. Hey, Michael in the chat. Hey, Dave, Joe. Welcome, everybody. So the cool thing is it's recording my voice right now. And if I say or I say way too many times. hello. It will automatically transcribe that stuff. And I think that's good enough for editing. So let's go stop that. I'm going to go to edit right here. It'll open up Descript. And this is where the magic starts to happen. Okay, so this is a video we recorded just now, right? On the right, this is the text of our video, our timeline. And normally, if you're editing a video, you go over here, you go like right click, you split the clip here, you split the clip here, and then you take all of this and you delete it, right? But if I want to edit this video now, all I have to do is say right here, hey, James, let's cut James out. Sorry, James, your shout out's going. You can delete the text and it immediately deletes the timeline. And that's amazing. Mason, what do you think?
I think I'm going to be doing a lot more videos now that I have access to this kind of thing. This is awesome. Like I've downloaded it. I haven't had the time to actually play with it yet, but I just getting to watch you do it now. I'm even more excited. That's really cool.
So the other really cool things about this, right, is if I had an image, and let's go grab an image from unsplash.com, and let's, as is tradition, dog. I'll just save this image, dog on desktop. And then I'm going to go over here, right? I'm going to open up Finder, go to my desktop. You can actually, like normally you would have to add an image, cut it over, and then splice it like for the correct width. You could select all of this right here, or right here. We're going to put James, Michael, Dave, Joe. I'm going to go over here to Finder, drag it onto that text. And that image will show for that text when you're playing back this video.
What?
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. No, this app is for both for Mac and Windows. I don't know about Linux. Show them the remover.
Oh yeah, that's next. So I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm very fast at my editing skills when I make videos. And Descript made me even faster because you can see all of these ums. Am I zoomed in enough? I should be.
I can see it.
Cool. So the next big feature of Descript is the filler word removal. So there's this right here, So I can actually go in and highlight each one, right? Uh-oh, I don't want to move that. I can highlight each one, press delete there, or you can click this little wrench right here, go to remove filler words. James, that's not what I'm trying to say. So it'll show all of the uhs that you have. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. My goal is to get that down to 0 when I record. And you can delete all of these with this one click, which is really, really cool. And the other cool thing about this is you can say delete audio without affecting video. So I want to show you what that looks like. It's kind of hard to tell. Look how tiny my face is.
Yeah.
But what it does, so here, if you can see, you see how I like emphasize that So if I do delete without affecting video, it was right, where was it?
Very beginning.
Right here. It was this one right here, right?
Yeah.
So if I do, was it? It's this one. No, it's this one. So I'll apply it to just this one. It got deleted. So if I go here, you can see that it kept the video, but it removed the sound. So basically, it just like muted that video. I'm not sure if it mutes the video actually, or if it, I say too much, or if it does like a freeze frame of the first frame where the happened, and then it like stretches that freeze frame. I'm not sure. So that's a killer feature there. So I'm just going to apply all and remove all the uhs. And then the other killer feature that it has is to shorten word gaps, which if you have word gaps longer than 3 seconds, you can just say, cut all those down to like half a second.
Oh, that's amazing. Is that like when your brain stops, but you don't, you're in the middle of a sentence and you're like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, so you can do that. And then what I have learned to do is I'll say the word marker every time I make a mistake. So what'll happen is somewhere in here, it'll be like the word marker. Then I'll know, oh, I have to go edit right there.
Oh, look at you being a professional. See, I'm bad at video editing, and this is going to make it look like I'm actually good at it, which is what a good tool should do. It should make people who are bad at things look like they might actually be able to do them. That's how I used to feel about Bootstrap.
Yeah, and if it makes you want to do that thing that you hated before, right?
Yeah, because honestly, my least favorite part of video production is post-production. 100%. Like, I stopped doing my YouTube channel because post-production was just so exhausting.
Yeah, really a lot of people too.
Yeah, we had a question in the chat from Barakat that asks, do people actually put in their scripts? No, just remember that this script is actually a live translation from the video. So like this, Chris didn't write this script. He uploaded a video, it created this script for him, and then he can edit the video by editing the script, which I think is just, that's gotta be one of the coolest things. When I saw the YouTube video for this, I was like, there is no way that this actually works. And then I played with it and I'm like, this is the best thing. This is one of the best. This could honestly go down as my favorite tool of 2021. And we're only in the first two. We're only in, February 4th.
It's pretty far up there for me, but I want to show you one more thing, which I have not set up yet, but I do need to set it up.
Live. Oh, we're doing it live. Here we go.
No, I can't set it up. So basically what it does is you take this text, and if, let's say I said random wrong. Let's say I wanted this to say, I'm going to talk awesome things. You could just delete that, say awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It lets me type the word in. Awesome. Oh, well.
Oh, wait. This feature, yeah.
I think I did it wrong. So you can click it. Basically, you could replace a word with another word, and Descript will use your voice to say that new word.
Yeah, what? I saw that. I saw that on. I think that was the feature that blew me away, is because you can just replace it, and it works really well. I wish we could demo that here, but I don't think we'll be able to get your audio.
Yeah, well, to set it up, it needs to learn your voice, and it takes 10 minutes of recording to learn your voice. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. So basically, I'm guessing it feeds it through some sort of, hey, deep fakes for fun and profit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Dave. I wonder, I'm going to test it, but I wonder if you could just replace like the whole script with new words.
I imagine that it would look weird, because I think I remember watching the YouTube video on their front page, and it did, like, it fixed the audio, but it didn't quite match up with the voice. Yes, I do. Brian Boucheron has a great question, Chris, but I don't know the answer. What do you...
Will this sync the edited script as subtitles when you export the video as well? Oh, that's a good point, Brian. This is one of the most amazing features of Descript that I don't think gets enough credit. Subtitles. If you usually needed subtitles, you would take a video, send it over to something like rev.com, and they would transcribe it for you. Here, you can just go share. My camera's in the way. Export, and then you could do subtitles, and it'll do it with it'll give you an SRT file with timing. And then you can also do adjustments on like when the word reaches that audio clip, so you can like adjust everything as needed. Barakat, thanks for that.
Awesome. So,
Dave, good idea.
Any other questions we have? Okay, I'm just trying to do something over here, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. Is that all we got, Chris? We ready to move on?
Is that all we got, Mason? That was amazing.
It was amazing. I know, you're right. I can't wait to go play with it. But like, do you have any other amazing features you want to show us before we move on?
I am done with Descript.
Awesome. That was really cool. Every day, now that I've actually seen you do it, because sometimes I'm just too lazy to test a tool, but now I'm just gonna have to go play with it. That's fine. The name of the app is Descript. So
let me drop a link
there.
And there's the chat.
I think it's just descript.com. Yeah. it's a man. How did you hear about this? Because like you just brought this into a meeting one day and blew my mind. So where did you find this?
How did I hear about it? One of my favorite content creators tweeted about it, saying, "Oh, well, also, I guess there's more. If you are on a team, then your teammate can come in here, highlight this, and actually add in a comment and say, hey, redo this. This was terrible,' right? You can do that. And then it's very nice, like collaboration tool when you're making videos. And the person that told me about it was saying that it would really help the team out for recording videos.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is. I don't know. It's fun when a tool gives you like excitement about what you can do. So I don't know. This is kind of like revitalized my energy about. I don't know if machine learning, AI kind of stuff is too prominent here, but I imagine it is.
Definitely, it's nice to see. It's nice to see real use cases of it in the real world, actually like creating next generation products. This is awesome. Okay, so awesome, Chris. Thank you.
You are welcome.
What are we doing? Okay, let's go on to our open discussions. So this is a segment that we do where we're just going to chat about things. Not like we haven't been doing that already, but this is more chatting about things with just a couple of prompts that we've set up beforehand. And feel free to chime in the comment section. We're happy to hear, because our first one is 2021 predictions. So I think we're good. What are you thinking, Chris?
2021 predictions? I mean, we're definitely going to see the remote work kind of come up more and more. It'll be interesting, I think, to see, what life looks like post this. So are people going to say, hey, you have to come back into the office and stuff like that? But we've seen such amazing tools for video, for audio, for remote work. Definitely a continuation of that.
Definitely. I think that's definitely what we're going to see. And that was actually one of the fun things is that, DigitalOcean was remote, a remote company for a long time. And, our transition here wasn't as rough as others. I think we're going to see that. And I also, one thing I think if we're really, really, really lucky, we'll see in-person conferences come back in Q4. But I think that like everything has to hit exactly the way it needs to for that to even be a thing. I think we might probably not see real in-person events back until 2022, which is sad, but it means you get to spend more time with us here in this live stream. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, we are running a little bit behind on time just because we're having a great time today. That's awesome. So we're going to go ahead and leave 2021 predictions because we have a more fun, exciting section we want to talk about. I'm going to hand it over to Chris, who's going to talk about the recent hackathon we did with Dev2, and let's demo some of the winners, Chris.
Yeah, so we had a DigitalOcean App Platform hackathon here. Let me close this out. My computer's not loading anything today. Cool. So this is a link to the hackathon that just ended last month. That ran for the end of the year to the beginning of the year. So if you did have a chance to join, thank you so much for joining. It ended up being a lot of fun. And what we have here is the winners. So we kind of just wanted to talk about the winners. And oh, I see that the link got shared twice. That's my fault. So just want to talk about the winners and all of the amazing things that they were able to build. So here are the winners of the App Platform Hackathon. And to just give you a sense of what the hackathon was judged on, there were 4 categories. 1 was built for business. 2 was a personal site or portfolio that you could build for yourself. 3 was called random roulette. is just any random fun thing. And the fourth one was program for the people. So just doing something for your fellow people and for just good stuff. So let's talk about some of the winners. This is the winner for the portfolio category right here, and I'll drop links to these in the chat. So there's this one. And the amazing thing about this is that this is Abhinav's portfolio, and you can basically navigate pages by clicking on buildings. So if I click on this building over here, it'll take this little car, drive it all the way over, and show off a certain page in his portfolio.
I am always just astounded by the creativity of people. This is like Animal Crossing. Like, I am loving this. Keep going.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah. So floating city, just driving around to different pages, all that good stuff. I think very, very promising stuff coming out of Abhinav coming. So that is the portfolio winner. We have 3 more winners. Let's go back to that page. So the built for business category, the link in here is called Guild.so, and it's basically, they took it down. Well, it's called Guild, and it's a business tool for you to kind of log into work and then be able to check in with your teammates and basically manage your guild. So you can tell by the GIFs that very, very good looking app that they built.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like the theme. I'm liking this like fantasy theme right now. This is exactly what I want. So
Baraket in the chat says
they
actually added their domain to the app platform. Oh. Yeah, so it's Guild.so is the app itself. So yeah. Part of the hackathon, the hackathon was to publish your app to DigitalOcean's new app platform. And they published it to app platform, and they also added in their custom domain. So that's great to see.
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff got done in that app for just a month-long hackathon. So that's great to see. All right, Mason. I think this is your favorite.
Ah, yes. This is why there's potato. This is why the title has potato generator in it. Video editors and potato generators.
So this was a potato generator. And
it generates potatoes.
It generates potatoes, and we put the links in the chat so you can go there, click potato. How do you say that?
Potatizer?
Potative.
Potative?
Potative. None of these are how I feel yet. Okay. Antenna. There we go.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
I'm having fun here. So the cool thing about this app is that all of these were custom designed by Alba, who made this app. And then to round out the 4 winners is this mental health crisis app where it gives you, it lets you create a network with your close family and friends so that you can monitor and see if like you need to provide help to one another. So it's a really cool kind of SOS distress signal for your local group.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so very much program for the people.
Definitely. Awesome. Looks like we got a lot of really good submissions. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so those are good. And then some of the runner-ups, this one was a space website by Ryan Lynch. Space portfolio. Flying around
cool.
Yeah.
Man. One day I'm going to learn how to do that.
Potatizer. All the animations?
Yeah, I think I've seen you do animations on some of the stuff you do, right?
Yeah. I just I these are my favorite types of animations where you just throw things randomly around the screen.
That does sound pretty fun.
So yeah, that's oh, and then the emoji traffic jam generator. So it may look kind of simpler on surface, but it actually was kind of a difficult task to randomize emojis and put them along the grid of the road. So this was a fun one to see. You just keep regenerating emojis along the traffic road, and then the like buildings and trees on the side of the road.
Huh. Cute. I like it. Awesome. That's fantastic. I hope we do another hackathon in the future. I think it would be really cool to have more of these to talk about. It's always really cool to see what people can build, because sometimes I don't feel creative and I'm like, I'm going to make a command line tool, and people make these really awesome things. I'm like, yay, creativity exists.
Yeah, hackathons are a lot of creativity coming out of them. That's actually how I started a lot of well, not started, but I was doing basically young kid out of college. The first hackathon I ever did was at Facebook, and we were so surprised we got accepted, but we got to fly over to Facebook, hang out there, do the hackathon for the weekend. So that was pretty fun.
That sounds really cool. I think I did one hackathon while I was in college, and yeah, that was real fun. The creativity that spawns out of lack of sleep is always interesting amounts of creativity. But I really like it. I'm going to do some more hackathons. I'll make that a 2021 goal for myself. Let's participate in some more hackathons this year. Awesome. So I think that's all we have to show you in this section for the day. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we're almost done here. If you have any more questions that you want to ask us, feel free to drop in the chat, and we'll try to answer them before we have to go. Just a real quick update on what's happening with Chris and I, if you want to see more of us. Next week, I believe Chris is doing a webinar on building a full stack app with Strapi and Next.js, or a tech talk here with DigitalOcean. So you can go to do.co/tech talks to find that, or I'm sure the link will magically appear in the chat for you, because we have people in the background that do some of these magical things for us that I love. Chris, what are you going to be talking about in that one besides Strapi and Next.js? What you planning?
Yeah, so I am not 100% sure on the app yet. I definitely want to make it goofy and fun, but a lot of the previous tech talks that I've done have been one or the other, Strapi on the back end, Next.js on the front end. So I see a lot of people, especially myself included, trying to build full stack apps and deploy them to our new app platform. So for me, this was kind of the right next step is let's build an app. Let's build a really fun full stack app and deploy it all in an hour.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to watch that. Like, be cheering for you. Think you can get it done in an hour?
I think so. I think so. Especially since you don't have to worry about deployment too much, since you're just deploying from GitHub on App Platform, and then Strapi is low code, not no code, so that helps out building out the back end. And then Next.js is probably where I'm going to be putting a lot of the work in.
Okay, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I am speaking at 2 meetups next week. I am speaking at the Cleveland Python user group meetup, all virtually, obviously. And at the Cleveland Python user group meetup, I'm going to be doing my Terraform workshop. I have a Terraform workshop that I do with meetups a lot, and it's a really fun one. If anyone here runs a meetup and wants me to present it, always happy to do it. So we're going to do that one on, I think, Monday. Let me check my calendar real quick. Yeah, on Monday at 5:30 Central Time, I'll be doing that. And then on Thursday, I'll be doing the Chicago Python user group meeting. and I'll be doing a talk on Python and context managers, and which is a kind of a slightly more advanced part of the Python ecosystem. And I'm super excited about giving that talk. So that's going to be really fun. But yeah.
Perfect.
And then the last thing we have for today, if there's any other questions, feel free. Well, actually, we got a question right there. Let's go ahead and do this right before. Chris, you got a question. What about app platform for Laravel?
Yes, App Platform for Laravel I think, is the perfect kind of deployment because, so my background is I built a site called Scotch.io. It was built on Laravel and has always been deployed to a droplet on DigitalOcean. So App Platform makes the deployment easier than on a droplet because you can just say, hey, go grab that repo from GitHub and deploy it, add in your database, and you have a deployed Laravel app. So, Freddie, App Platform, perfect fit for Laravel.
Awesome. Great. So last segment is Mason's joke of the day. Chris, you ready for this one? I've been scouring the internet for jokes, and I've got a joke for you.
All right, Mason, I'm ready.
Okay. Why did the guy get fired from the keyboard factory?
Why?
He was putting in too many shifts.
Oh, okay. That would be a terrible keyboard. All right. I like it.
I told you they're going to be bad jokes, but I love them. So awesome. Well, thank you everyone for showing up today. It's always a pleasure. We'll be back hopefully same time next week. But if we change it, we'll definitely let you know. Chris, any parting thoughts?
No, thank you so much, everybody, for being here for the first ever Cloud Chats. Really appreciate you all being here, hanging out with us in the chat. I know there's a lot of places you can use your digital time, but we appreciate it being here.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.